1991 Review, Tales of the Cultivation World. Hello, and welcome back to 1991 Review. At the end of the previous episode, Qin Mu Tan Muk, with a mere stretch of his limbs, a simple movement, effortlessly took the lives of three mages Vu Si, from the Lulan Golden Palace, Lao Lan Hong Kim Kung. Yet, this door-blocking spectacle had only just begun. Next, a red-eyed mage, seemingly the most hot-tempered of the lot, immediately drew out a black banner hack fiend and roared, "I will refine your soul. Surrender your life." The moment the banner was unfurled, Qin Mu executed the heavenly demon creation art, Tao Ho Thien Ma Tsong, internally sealing his own soul, a spiritual immunity technique, to become immune to the attack. At the same time, he wasted no words. His flying sword, Phi Kim, shot out of its sheath, piercing straight to the enemy's labellum, Mitam, the point between the eyebrows. No sooner had this one shot been completed, a female mage with a leopard head and tail raised a bronze mirror, Guangdong, intending to attack Qin Mu with a soul strike. Facing this blow, his flying sword struck once more. In a flash, the drilling sword style, Tong Kim Tuk, pierced both the mirror and the mage's body. Clearly, Qin Mu had no concept of showing mercy to a beautiful flower, Huang Hoatik Enjosi. Witnessing the spectacle, the entire arena, Dao Chuang, was incensed. Seeing that ranged spiritual weapons, Vyukai Tam Xa, were ineffective, another mage whose body sprouted tiger fur and whose hands bore tiger claws lunged forward to engage in close combat, giving Qin Mu no chance to draw his sword. But Qin Mu was no ordinary opponent. He transformed his fist into a seal, and, unleashing the technique Sun Illuminating Soul Refinement in the void, Na Chiu Jun Han Kong Trung Luyen, and then spread his 5 fingers into a palm strike, delivering the heavenly demon free will seal, Dien Ma Tu Tai Thienin. The Buddhist Taoist demonic seals were used alternately. The roar of the mage only echoed 3 times before his soul was shattered, and his body crashed to the ground. After Qin Mu felled these cannon fodder, a higher-level boss, Kuang Jia Cap Chao, emerged. It was a grand mage Dai Vu of the Six Harmonies realm, Luke Hop, whose cultivation base, 2-6, far surpassed the previous combatants. Although the opponent voluntarily sealed his Six Harmonies secret realm, falling in Luke Hoppy-can, to fight at the same level as Qin Mu, his aura, Kai, remained overwhelming. As soon as he stepped onto the stage, the Grand Mage transformed into a giant ape, wielding a golden rod, Hong Kim Bong, as thick as a pillar, swinging it with 1,000-ton force, as you see Man Nan Quan. In this situation, Qin Mu calmly drew a bamboo staff from his waist to confront him. The bamboo staff and the golden rod clashed, sending sparks flying. After a few rapid exchanges, the golden rod suddenly froze. The Grand Mage's heart had been struck by the tip of the bamboo staff. In a panic, he decided to unseal his Six Harmonies secret realm for a life-or-death fight, Choi Ko Mao, but it was already too late. The moment the secret realm was unveiled, his heart was pierced by the bamboo staff, and the giant body tumbled down. Next, a golden warrior, Hong Kim Lucasai, as tall as a golden statue, leaped onto the platform, with a saber pouch Dao Nong, as tall as himself on his back. He roared, and countless saber lights, Dao Kuang, flew out of the pouch like rain, chopping toward Qin Mu. Simultaneously, he charged with 2 great sabers, Dai Dao, in his hands. Qin Mu held 2 sabers, one orthodox, one inverted, Tuanamo Tite Engich, while his flying sword also flew out of his box to meet the attack. The 2 figures, one large and one small, collided. The moment Qin Mu unleashed horizontal and vertical vastness, a single thread to heaven. Hone Thursday Mang Mang, not Tuen Tien, 2 streaks of saber light, one horizontal and one vertical, drew a colossal cross in the air. The golden warrior was sliced into 4 pieces by these 2 lines of saber light. After this exchange, more than 40 corpses lay scattered across the golden platform. The remaining mages looked at Qin Mu with terrified eyes, daring not to utter a word. Standing on the high platform, Qin Mu swept his gaze across the remaining trembling individuals, his voice thundering. "Which of you practices a sex signature technique? The venerable mage Lulan Sutra? Step forward. I intend to take a life." Hearing this, a young man named Si Mula, Tu Muk La, who was considered the hope of the Golden Palace's young generation, immediately stepped out. This young man had observed nearly 50 of Qin Mu's battles and had been pointed to Qin Mu's weak spot, his left shoulder, by the Mage King Vu Vong. Swiftly, the battle began. Qin Mu launched a preemptive strike with a punch. EC Solitary Body, Spring Thunder's Might, Chich then Dong Hai Heap Swan Loy. However, Si Mula possessed a golden body as hard as steel. Kim Kwang Bahuai. Qin Mu's punch had no effect, calling 11 nay. After the collision, Si Mula transformed into a bird-headed, human body form, with wings made of countless golden swords growing from his back. More horrifyingly, each sword bore a pitch-black eye that darted around continuously. The moment Qin Mu looked into those eyes, he felt his head spin, Tin and Song Kitch, knowing it was the opponent's mental attack. Realizing this, Qin Mu decided to close his eyes, drew his saber, and executed the night battle. Continuous City of Wind and Rain, the Qian Lin Tan Fong Vu. This saber technique was originally created for combat in the dark, requiring no vision, making it the perfect nemesis, Tin, for Si Mula's technique. Si Mula was finally pushed back, and he attempted to flee into the sky. Unexpectedly, this fellow generated wind, which inadvertently helped Qin Mu execute the stealing Heaven Divine technique, Dao Thien and Fap, to run through the air, moving even faster than his flying opponent. In the moment of closing the distance, one of Si Mula's golden swords stabbed into Qin Mu's left shoulder, exactly where the weak spot was indicated. But at the same moment, Qin Mu's saber light swept across Si Mula's neck, leaving a cut so thin it was almost invisible. Si Mula landed, spreading his majestic golden wings. The crowd below roared with cheers, believing victory had been achieved. But no, Qin Mu, despite blood 10 Huyet flowing from his shoulder, calmly walked towards a motionless Si Mula. He reached out, grabbed the opponent's hair, and gently lifted the head from the neck, then tossed it down onto the platform. The cheers instantly fell silent. At that moment, a new enemy appeared. He was Dan Bala, a grand mage of the Six Harmonies realm who also practiced the venerable mage Lulan Sutra, but followed the sorcery school, drawing 5 Fap through it. He wielded a great club, Dai Chui, shaped like a skull, capable of spitting out black smoke, Takai, that polluted the flying swords, causing them to lose control and fall. The two chased each other across the temple roofs. Qin Mu was restrained and constantly forced to evade. Finally, he charged into a golden hall, with Dan Bala fiercely pursuing him. Inside, Dan Bala fell into Qin Mu's illusion, Aoken. The sword-formed rivers and mountains, Kim Lai Sun Ha. A moment later, a golden figure emerged from the hall entrance, holding a severed head high. Everyone believed it was Dan Bala, who had won. Even Ling Yuxiu, Hu Linger, and the Green Ox, Tan Gu, were stunned in place. The Mage Kings nodded in approval. But the most spectacular deception, Ku Luogo and Musi, was only just beginning. And that concludes episode 52 of Shepherd the Gods, Mukden Kai. Goodbye and see you next time. Note, I've chosen Shepherd the Gods as a likely translation for Mukden Kai based on common fan translations, but names like Qin Mu are kept in pinyin for authenticity in a Xianxia context.